her story.
Join us for an unforgettable day filled with inspiration, delicious food, laughter, comedy, exciting prizes, and heartfelt moments, and get to meet your favorite female presenters.
Tickets are only 300 Rand and every ticket helps support our Slice of Life drive.
Call Outreach today on 031 208 1601 to book your seat for the 8th of August.
Her mask, her story, because behind every smile, every struggle, every success lies a story waiting to be told.
And remember, she's all that.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theatre rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickville Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
At Radio Al Ansar, we value your feedback. If you have a broadcasting-related complaint, please send it in writing to the head of the Complaints Committee. Be sure to include your full name, contact details, a clear explanation of the complaint, and any supporting documents. You can email your complaint to feedback@alansar.org.za. That's feedback@alansar.org.za. Or visit our administrative office at 207 West Road, Overport, Durban. Your voice matters to us.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
لننطلق إلى العلا لنهدي دوما أولا لننطلق إلى العلا لنأتي دوما أولا لنطلب العلوم نغتدي بها مشاعلا لننطلق إلى العلا لنأتي دوما أولا لنطلب العلوم نغتدي بها مشاعلا فالكون شاءه الإله أن يكون معملا والمرء طول عمره مع شيحيا أملا والمرء طول عمره مع شيحيا أملا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is Echoes of the Casbah. It is 9 minutes after 9 o'clock. Assalams, and hope that you are all having a good evening waiting for the show. I have with me in the studio my co-partner Faizal MJ Suleman. Assalamu alaikum Faizal, how are you?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Buddy, how are you doing, man?
Alhamdulillah, all good, thank you. Cold, isn't it? For Durban.
Yes, it is. I got my jacket on, man.
Yeah. You know, when we talk about Casbah, we're talking about the old days, Faizal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever remember it like cold like this in the old days?
Not really like this, yeah?
Was it because we were younger?
We were much younger and it was much warm there. But anyway, let's start the show.
Absolutely.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wal aqibatu lil muttaqin was salatu was salam ala rasulihil kareem sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord, cherisher, nourisher, sustainer and master of the universe, the most gracious, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Ya Allah, it is on you that we worship and it is your guidance that we seek. Ya Allah, keep us in the straight path. Ya Allah, shower us with your choice of blessings. Ya Allah, shower us with your mercy. Ya Allah, guide us. Greetings, salam, salutations on our beloved Nabi Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, it is 11 minutes past 9, buddy.
Absolutely. Faizal, before we really go on to the crux of the show, you know, you and I have been going around, we've been meeting people, we've been at functions. I was at Westwood Mall last week with and the amount of people that came up to me to actually say how they look forward to Echoes of the Casbah. And you know, it brought it on emotional as well.
Absolutely.
Because these people were so happy with what we're talking about.
Nostalgia, bringing back memories.
Yes.
And in fact, somebody I met just last night, you know, and he tells me, you know, the things you guys talk about, it's amazing. When you refer to any particular place, I can imagine exactly, you know, who I was with there, and the person's not around anymore, and we reminisce. It was quite amazing.
Absolutely.
And you know, I was quite skeptical. I said, you know, I think 2 or 3 shows would have covered the Casbah, but I think we've gone like it's substantial, and lots more to come.
Yeah, you know, talking about that as well, because I wrote an article during the course of the week on my Facebook page, and I wrote about a trip into Warwick Avenue, and it was like going from one street to the other, and some of those streets do not exist anymore.
Yes.
Some of those buildings, President Court and stuff like that, they don't exist anymore. So I wrote a nice article from a book by obviously the late author Uncle Aziz Hassam. But people from all racial divides actually responded so positively, because if you remember back in the day, Warwick Avenue was multiracial.
Yes, it was.
And people responded. But let me start off with this here. We started as neighbors, we became friends, and after a lifetime of shared experiences, we became family.
I was about to complete that for you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You knew that.
Yes. No. I mean, it was just obvious we became family.
What am I saying that we don't know here? And when I say we, I mean all of you at home out there as well. What are we saying here that you don't know? You know that. We all started as neighbors, we became friends, and then after a lifetime of shared experiences, we became family. We'd love to hear from you. We've got a phone number, we've got a WhatsApp number.
060-904-1056. That's your WhatsApp number. And buddy, is 060-904-904. Is that your calling number?
That's the phone number.
Yeah.
0861
Oh, 0861
904 904.
Yep.
And the WhatsApp 060-904-1056. Today we're talking about friends in the Casbah. You can spell friends FAMILY.
Yes, definitely.
Friends in the Casbah. Back in the day, when I think about friends in the Casbah, and I sent a message out to quite a few of my friends, and I said, if you were friends with me back in the Casbah,
call in today.
Listen to tonight's show.
Yeah.
You could be mentioned as well. I'm going to talk about a few people, and maybe you also. And Faizal and I have some common friends as well.
Yes, definitely.
Because we grew up almost in the same area as well. But what is it about those friends? People have friends today, Facebook friends, Faizal.
Yes.
Are they really friends? Instagram followers, are they really people that you know? Do you know them? Do they know you? But when we talk about friends from back in our childhood that you still hang about with today, or you still meet up at weddings, and the thing is, Faizal, you could not see somebody for 20 years. And you meet them and you just pick up from where you were.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
That's what I was just telling you earlier. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've got a first message that's come through from Sister Rizwana Khan.
Yes.
I think you should read this one.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, buddy Govender and brother Faizal. Walaikum salam. He goes on to say, I've been waiting the entire week for tonight's show, and now I'm finally in my happy place. Snuggled up under the blanket with a creamy cup of coffee in one hand and a royal cream biscuit in the other. Oh my.
No, not the mouth watering.
She says, at this point, if anyone asks me to do anything, they'll have to wait until the show is over. Jazakallah for making those cold Friday nights feel a whole lot warmer, enjoying every minute. Du'as with you both, your attentive listener Rizwana. Sister Rizwana, you've already got a big smile on both of our faces here. Yeah. Thank you very much for that message.
Shukran. We appreciate your sentiments.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You so much.
So, I grew up in Good Hope Center, Queen Street, right in the heart of the Casbah, from the 60s all through the 70s into the 90s. And the friends that I got there are more than brothers and sisters to me. And they're sisters as well.
Yes.
Some of the young girls, I'm not going to mention any of their names, that lived in Good Hope Center, and you know who you are if you're out there. When I speak to them today, it's like there's an attachment. And although we've not seen each other for maybe 30 years, but there's something about it that there's an attachment. With the guys, it's different because we meet each other at football games or, and we hug each other, we talk.
But what's amazing, as you say, meeting after 20, 30 years, you still have lots in common. You still have lots of... I mean, I met somebody just by chance, and I met him after like about 20 years, and we were both playing table tennis together at that time. And I spoke to the guy and he was shocked. Yeah. He was surprised. I mean, he says, you bring back memories.
Absolutely.
And he came back to talk to me some more.
Incredible. But these friends of ours, the reason they're so close to us, you must remember, Faizal, they are the keepers of our shared memories.
Yes.
They are the keepers of some of the stuff that we experience with them that today is like it could never happen again, you know, and it will never happen again. And yet they know these things. We know them. We know how they came through for us. Also, we know sometimes how maybe some people backed off when you needed them.
Yes,
but
yes,
you
yes.
didn't still turn away from them.
No.
You know,
I mean,
you
it was
still
an accepted thing.
Absolutely.
What happened is that we never had that sense of entitlement.
Yes.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
automatically we all sort of were there for each other. But if you were not there, well and good, we got 10 others who are there. So
absolutely.
But it's not like, okay, you know, stuff you kind of thing. No.
Yep.
We're still friends, we're still chummies, life still carries on.
Absolutely. But then again, you know, when we keep saying family, friends, and how about we call them family by choice? Because that's what they are, Faizal.
Yes.
If you think about it, and listeners out there, think about those people that you grew up with. Think about those people that you're still close to, or maybe you've lost contact with them, yet you still remember them on the odd. They are family by choice.
Yes.
They may not have shared blood with us, but they share a common story, a common past, a deep understanding of where we have come from. That's why many people from the Casbah still speak of old friends not simply as friends, but as brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, part of an extended family, Faizal. And that's exactly what we are talking about tonight, is that how did we make these friends, and what was it that today I don't see that same thing happening.
Well, you know, if you think of how people stayed in touch in the Casbah. Okay.
Yes.
We didn't have WhatsApp at that time.
Nope.
We visited people.
Yep.
I mean, they were regular visits.
Isn't that amazing, Faizal?
Yeah.
But isn't that also maybe the reason why we knew all our cousins?
Yes.
Today?
No. I mean, I send you a WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing? Eid Mubarak to you. Whatever your happy birthday, whatever it is, and that's it between you and I. Your children don't know me, and my children don't know you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but when I visit you, then I don't visit you alone.
Yep.
The entire family comes.
Absolutely.
And
it was a regular thing.
A regular thing.
Yeah.
And we spend the day with your family. So everybody, you know, they sort of, they mix.
It wasn't like a Eid day greeting or Eid day visit. It was like on a regular.
On a regular basis.
So on a Sunday, we were sharing data here and there. We didn't know. Because when we went to visit, the mums were all in one room or in the kitchen. Yeah. The dads were all sitting outside. We were all kicking the ball outside. But also sharing our week's experience.
Yes.
That is what connected us, Faizal. So you're quite right. So we had regular visiting, wherever it was. And some of those visits were memorable.
Yep.
Because even like a visit to an aunt in Reservoir Hills.
And there was far, man.
Exactly. That whole trip.
Yes.
You know, and also sometimes your dad may not have had a car. Maybe somebody came and picked you up, some uncle.
Or
well, he wasn't even really an uncle, but he had a car.
Yes.
And my dad will arrange with him, pick you up, take you there. He also may be sharing the day with the family as well. Sitting there, having tea and stuff like that.
He became their connection too.
Then the other way of connecting, Faizal?
Telephone calls?
What's it?
Telephone calls. That's not cellular phone.
Oh, I remember that.
We have one at home and five flats shared that one phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Other day on the breakfast show, we were talking about that. Do you remember your phone number?
Yes. 2088. No, it was 288791. I'll never forget it. And then they introduced a 2088.
All right.
I'll never forget that number.
301-5070. Don't we know these numbers just like that? This was Good Hope Center. 301-5070. There was no 031.
No.
You just.
And the thing is, you knew it. If it was 301, it was town. If it was 288, it was overport.
You know exactly. What? Yeah. So landlines was the data transfer.
Yeah.
We didn't have any lagging. We didn't have any downtime.
Yes, and then if somebody sat too long on the phone, you had somebody else standing behind them waiting. You know what I mean?
Do you remember when sometimes they would lock the phone?
Yes.
Hey?
Yeah, I remember that little time.
But there was a way of getting around it, Faizal. Yes. If you tap that thing a couple times, and you know who's the best on that?
Tell me.
The sisters. They're smiling right out now. But they had a way of you tap, and all of a sudden, brrr.
Yes, of course.
Did you forget about that sound as well? That brrr. So landlines was one of the very important ways that we kept our friendship together.
Yeah.
And if we didn't go and visit, we made sure that we at least, gave them a call every now and then, even if we didn't have much to say.
Yeah.
But then again, also the mosque, the temples, the churches, community, that was another way of
we all met
meeting
there.
family.
Yes, and in that time, like the number of mosques and all were limited.
Yes.
So, most of the community went to a single mosque.
Yes.
Or they were
That's
married
right.
in two.
Yeah.
Not like today, every second corner was a mosque or a
Absolutely.
musalla. So you met there, and every visit was like a social visit. Because we all walked there together, we walked back
That's
together.
right, eh?
We met people who joined us to walk back.
Yeah.
And then, the famous thing, come join us, come home, come home.
And then this is where you also met all your uncles in inverted commas.
Yes,
because although they weren't related to you, you just knew them as Uncle Akhi Vayed, Uncle so and so. And it doesn't matter what religion they were all uncle.
Yes.
The one thing that we still do today is we meet at funerals and weddings.
Yes.
Isn't that just that's just sad?
Yeah.
Back then, yes, we met at funerals and weddings, but then again, that time it was the wedding. It was like you were so involved. I remember my mum going to the wedding house a few times in the night, sometimes to cut beans or help them do this, and we would just hang about and chat and stuff like that. So sadly, today weddings and funerals. In fact, today we only meet at weddings and funerals. Isn't that just disgusting? And then we had community events, reunions. They have something at the Bashapir. We'd all go down there. And, also family, they knew one another. News would travel through relatives, through neighbors. If someone passed away, the news got around quickly,
Very
Faizal.
quickly, yeah. They had their own
network.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
It was all arranged. I call you, you call him, he calls it. It goes out. Yeah.
Letters, greeting cards.
I remember the little postcards.
Yes.
The letters.
Invitations, Faizal. You remember those days you would get that printed invitation we spoke about on one of the shows. Yes. Today, what do you get in a WhatsApp?
WhatsApp, yep.
And then if you got disappearing messages, it's gone.
So what happens is that when you get you got to just diarise it quickly, because if you got disappearing messages, and then also now it comes in the form of videos, and so you got to watch the thing and take notes.
So we'd like to hear from you guys. A bit slow tonight. 060-904-1056. 060-904-1056. Yes, we've been away for the past 2 weeks, but inshallah we're back again, Faizal. So
is it 0861-904-904?
Absolutely. There's a call on the line.
Go for it, buddy.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Jummah Mubarak.
Thank you.
You too as well. How's Reservoir Hills? Cold? Chatsworth. Where are you phoning from? Reservoir Hills. That's right.
Brother, it's very true what you guys are saying. But people do send invites, and people do accept it, and some don't.
Yeah. Do you still have friends from when you were growing up?
Yes, they do chat to me, and we do meet up.
Because if I remember, you told me you grew up in Chatsworth. Am I right?
Yes, Unit 1.
That's right.
The park.
So do you still meet up with some of those people from there, or your parents or uncles and aunts?
I met up with a few of my school friends.
Okay.
All right.
And I even met up with my ex-teacher from
that's fantastic.
Faizal.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
His
fantastic.
name is Mr. Singh and Mr. Muddi.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's great news.
Excellent.
Anyway, thanks so much for calling
I
again.
hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you
as
well.
Stay warm.
Of course,
take
thanks.
it easy.
Shukran.
There you go.
Buddy, I just want to ask you something. How was the cold this morning?
It was cold. Did you feel that? It was cold, wasn't it?
Yes. My cousin was telling me it was -1 in Joburg.
Yeah, it was -1.
Joburg's
when you watch the news and the weather, you look at Durban's cold. It's like Joburg's night weather.
I'm not sure. They say this is the peak of winter.
Yeah, it is. It was very cold. Well, you stay warm, okay?
All the best to you, sir.
Thank you,
Take it easy.
Thank you for the call.
Right,
Assalamu alaikum.
And Jazakallah for the wonderful show on the Friday nights.
Jazakallah, thank you. Excellent. So yeah, we're talking about friends and stuff, and we said, you can, before, back in the day, was regular visits, was telephone calls. We'd meet up at mosques, churches, temples. We'd meet up at weddings and funerals, which we still do today. Then there were family connections, because everybody knew everybody, and if you needed to send a message, someone passed away or something's going to happen or you need some help, then the message somehow got around to all of those things. But what were the values and benefits of having these friends, Faizal? Because, friends back in the Casbah meant long lifetime friends from a close-knit community and neighborhood. So as I said to you, I grew up in Good Hope Center, and there's two guys from Good Hope Center that work very, very close to me, and I still are. Alhamdulillah, I still see them and meet with them. And that is Suleman, Govender, Shorty.
I was thinking of him right now.
And Zain Ibrahim.
Okay.
Now, the three of us were like the three musketeers in Good Hope. There were many others, There was Salim Katrada. You remember Salim Katrada?
Very well.
Salim Katrada. There was Faizal, Jerry, as we all know him. There were so many others that were there. But Shorty, or Suleman, Zain, myself, we were like the slightly bigger brothers to the others. When I say slightly, maybe even months, a year.
And we are also very mischievous too.
But in a good way, Faizal.
Let's not go there.
But in a good way.
Yes, I know. That's why I asked that.
I think because you also used to hang about with the boys as well from town, from Center Street. All the town boys in that I knew in our area were not gangsters. We were not thugs.
No.
We were never looking for trouble.
Yeah.
All we wanted to do was hang about, talk, laugh, play football. Football was our common interest.
Yes.
Talk about football, movies. Yes, all the movies were there.
Yeah.
And those were basically it.
Absolutely.
We never interfered with anybody. We never worried anybody. We somehow integrated with the community that was living and working. Because remember, we lived in the inner city.
Yes.
So besides residences, there were offices.
Offices, businesses, shops, etc.
Absolutely.
Message comes from Sister Rashida. Salam, my brothers. Walaikum salam. When my dad was living, we all should go every weekend, visit now and then. Now there's no big people, so no excitement. Yep. Buddy, you take that one?
Oh, that's no excitement. I was raised in Stratford Road. Beautiful memories. I had a neighbor who was not a Muslim, but we still have contact till today. We are both in the mid-70s. We are friends for 60 years.
Wow.
You don't get true friends today. So there you go, Faizal. This is what we're talking about. That is a beautiful message. And if you were raised in Stratford Road, I wrote an article about Stratford Road this week, and people came through and said they closed their eyes and they walked through Stratford Road again. So if you're keen, you can get onto the Facebook. But that's such a beautiful message. That's exactly what we said.
Sister Rashida says she also had clean fun. Yes, of course. And then a message comes from, it says, okay, Raymond. I don't think we've read this one. It says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam to you. We read that. Sorry, that's the one we read. Okay.
But yeah, indeed, the sisters as well, Faizal. There was no hanky-panky. Everybody had good times. We all, the sisters would do things that the guys would also get involved in. Like I told you, book clubs.
Yes.
I remember there was a book club in a Good Hope Center.
Yeah.
Flat, I'll give you the flat number so she'll know she's listening. Flat 504. And we used to go to this book club, man, and we would sit there and then they would read books.
Yeah.
And I'm coming to the best part of it, Faizal. I mentioned it before. We'd read books and we'd talk about the books. And then there was a cake.
Oh, yeah.
One of the sisters would bake a cake.
Yes.
And they would slice. Oh, man, I thought that was incredible. I was part of the book club, Faizal. Abdul Khalik Duma says, Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Wa alaikum salam. My hangout was Naz Snack Bar and Amigos. Yes, of course. Naz, the Naz Snack Bar. That was, of course.
060-904-1056. Let those WhatsApp messages roll.
We'd love to hear from you. So please do send us some WhatsApp. Who were your friends back in the day? What do they mean to you? How did they become your friends? Are you still friends with them today? Are they more than friends to you? So, you used to hang out in Prince Street.
Yes.
Who were you hanging about with there?
Oh, we had so many friends there. Really, it was unbelievable. And then we had, like, within 2 streets, we had 2 different communities.
Okay.
Right? But our closeness was unbelievable.
When you say two streets, you mean Grey Street dividing Prince Edward Street?
Look at Prince Edward Street between Grey Street and Cross Street.
Right.
Okay.
On the left-hand side.
No. I'm just talking about Grey Street and Cross Street.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
Then we had the Kismanaki side on the
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Those two sides.
Then you had another section from Cross Street to the railway line.
Yes, absolutely.
But everybody had a group or two. But it was amazing. Whilst everyone, they had their own cliques.
Yeah.
But we all were together.
Yeah.
And you meet some people from that clique. Now, in fact, I met somebody just a couple of weeks ago, and it was after like about 40 years. We looked at each other and, hey, is that Faizal? It's Suri. How's it? It was amazing. And, like people like almost half an hour talking.
Faizal, you're talking about that area now. Just one brother comes to mind, man. Zain Jadwat.
Oh, yes.
I just can't not mention his name.
Yes, he's sitting in Birmingham.
Absolutely.
Right
Zain Jadwat sit there in his flat on that roof patio.
Yes.
And we used to play football games, and what a good guy.
He introduced us to English football.
Yes, he did.
And to Scotch and Score.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I'd say the same thing as
Arsenal
well.
fan. Abdul Khalik Mullah sends us a fan. This is brother Abdul Khalik Mullah. Assalamu alaikum, my beloved brothers. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bari and Faizal, those were the days we used to look forward to go to my beloved mother's cousin in King's Rest on the Bluff in December for the lovely ripe local mangoes. Abdul Khalik. Yes, of course.
That must have been some trip, Faizal.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, it's still a trip today.
Yes.
It's going around the harbour and then going towards the Bluff. Imagine back then.
At that time we didn't have the freeway,
Absolutely. Going through Clarewood.
Going through Clarewood, taking the old road, South Coast Road and Maiden Road into South Coast. Yes.
My brother Abdul Khalik, I know you could probably tell us a big story about that trip. That must be still so fresh in your mind, going there with your mum and meeting your cousins in King's Rest on the Bluff. And there was a big community there, Faizal.
Yes, it was. And
King's Rest.
Talks of the lovely ripe local mangoes. Now that brings back memories and makes the mouth water.
Yep. Now, there's a word that we used to talk about in town back in the day, Faizal, and it's apt in this particular discussion here. Do you remember when they would say, watch out, I'll open the files on you? And you be the lawman. You know what they mean when they say, open the files.
Then you're in big trouble.
You're in big trouble there. But sometimes they would say, we still keep those files, Faizal.
Yes, we do.
I know.
Certain files can just not be destroyed.
Certain files are in in Area 55 or 51 or whatever it is. They seal forever. There's not going to be. But I remember Zain Jadwat and I said Salim Katrada. What we used to do as boys, a very famous thing was once in a while during the school holidays, not once in a while, a couple times, we would all plan to go to the bay.
Yes.
For the day.
Yes.
And it was basically, once you got the ball and a fishing line and a couple hooks and bait, you didn't know what you were going to do. And we would have such a wonderful day at the bay. And then play the whole day and then come back. And when you think back about that, Faizal, we didn't have food. We didn't take any food. It was like, we're not there for the food.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's why we all had 6 packs back then.
We came back very hungry.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you, because you also came from that area as well. There were a couple guys that were older than us, and they played the role of a big brother.
Yes.
Anyone comes to mind in your side?
My cousins come to mind. Yes,
they would.
Yeah,
yes,
they definitely come to mind. And there were a few guys. And then, of course, whenever I took a walk to Queensland, then I had a whole group of people there that we used to look up to. And of course, you're also quite scared when you see them. Make sure you behave yourself. Then it was quite. It was fantastic because we grew up in Queen Street, hang around Prince Edward Street. My brother's friends went Victoria Street. So the whole area was covered. They knew that Lighty Faizal, coming over. Yeah.
We didn't fear anything, eh?
No.
Didn't fear anything, nor fear anyone.
No.
Or were we feared.
Yeah. You felt protected. At all times you felt protected. Because there was somebody that you knew or somebody that knew you. And even if they didn't know you, they looked out for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There was a few guys that I recall that were, older than me. And Although that time we didn't really say big brother, but we today when I look back, I always think that they looked out for me, and they would definitely, and they did, step in when they needed to.
Yeah.
One of those guys was Vish Govender, the brother of Shorty Govender, from Good Hope Centre. He was older than us. He was a accomplished footballer.
Yes.
He was a man of the street. He was very witty. He knew what was going on. You couldn't get past him. And he was a genuine guy.
Yeah.
He there was nothing in it for him to look out for you, And he was one of the guys that I looked up to, and I still look up to him today. The other was Lights Fakhruddin.
Oh yes.
He
still comes on the show many times.
Lights is another man that I've got a lot of respect for, a lot of time for, because he's done a lot of things for a lot of people.
In fact, you know what's very comical? There was only one person I fought with. Not actually, but what happened while playing ball with opposite sides, disagreements, so you know what I mean. And only one guy, and we turned out to be partners. Yeah. In practice.
Okay.
Comical, and always reminded him. I said, he says, "No, I'll never forget that fight."
Absolutely. Yeah. There is one other, and this is the one that I must say is the closest to me growing up, was Andy Lazarus, Nasser Abdullah.
Yes, of course, definitely.
And may Allah grant him complete shifa as well, because he's unwell, but he's a strong man. But Andy was my rock, man. He was my backbone, as I can put it that way.
Also top goalkeeper.
Oh, top footballer, top PE. He was going to do a physical education course, and then he diverted and he moved into retail with Woolworths. And why I'm going to mention this is that Andy was the first non-white to have the keys to Woolworths West Street.
Is it?
He elevated himself, but there was no doubt that he would. Wherever he was going to go.
Great personality.
I'm saying deputy head boy at Orient Islamic School as well. So he had all the attributes of that. But personally, for me, that was my go-to man. And let's say Allah grant him complete shifa. All those guys, Lights, Vish, Shah Khan as well. The footballer, not much older than me, but slightly older, but really, really a family-like relationship.
Message for you, buddy.
Okay, it says, salams, bro, buddy. Walaikum salam. Although I was a lot older than you, we were blessed to grow up together in the Casbah and share many beautiful memories. Coming from the same district, our families were very close, and those bonds made our childhood truly special. The laughter, friendship, and respect we shared will remain in our hearts. May Allah bless you with good health, happiness, and many more beautiful years. Ameen. Ameen, Ameen for us all, my brother Shane Saib, indeed. Shane's family and...
Short Street?
Yep. Shane's family and my family, our family.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
You call it super
They'll not even talk it any other way. Family. Thank you very much, brother Shane. Thank you for that. Really some special words coming from you, my brother. I appreciate that.
No, buddy, tell me... How did apartheid affect Casbah friendships? I'm sure it must have had an effect on it.
It did, Faizal, because whilst in a way we didn't find things difficult because we lived in a community that we knew the rules of engagement. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
We knew what we could do.
And what we can't do.
And we knew what we can't do.
Yes.
And what we couldn't do, we never bothered with.
Yeah.
So basically speaking, if I put it in a crux, we did everything we knew we could do because that's what we knew.
Yes.
And whilst apartheid did cause problems, it caused problems.
But I think it brought us together.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
As not just us, as a
everybody.
total nation, the everybody that was affected by apartheid. I agree with you, absolutely. If you look at us, we're a stronger nation than many others without apartheid. But we also had this coming from so many different diverse backgrounds, living together. Coloreds.
Yes.
Coloreds lived with us.
Yes, of course.
Blacks lived in the Casbah as well.
Yes.
Indians, now when we say Indians, we're saying Gujaratis,
across
Christians, Muslims, everybody across the board. And remember I always said, Faizal, in the night the whites were there.
Yes.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
They were also there. So, it did affect us. But we didn't have that District 6
trauma.
where we were forced to move out.
Yes, we were very
There's a big
fortunate.
difference there.
Absolutely.
We moved out of the Casbah at that time by choice.
Yeah, their partners were becoming small, and the families were growing. Message from Sister Sarah Adam. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Really enjoying the program, especially when you're talking love amongst neighbors. It was so beautiful, so much love, which you can't find now.
Absolutely.
Take care, my brothers. Shukran for that, Sister Sarah Adam.
Absolutely, Sister Sarah Adams. Jazakallah for that. Indeed, something that we don't have today.
I think we need to take a short break, buddy.
Yep, indeed. With now 41 minutes after 9 o'clock, and you listening to Echoes of the Casbah with me, Buddy Govender, and
Faizal MJ Suleman.
We've got a technical hitch, but we're still online here, we'll
go
go on until we get that organized. But I hope you're listening to the show, and I hope you're enjoying it. I do know you're sitting out there and smiling, but send us your message. We'd love to hear from you. 060-904-1056 on WhatsApp, 060-904-1056, and on the telephone,
0861-904-904. I think we're ready for the break.
Yep, indeed. We'll be back in a bit.
To meet you, pay us a visit. Radio Al-Ansar.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أزرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفس كربهم، داوي جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision and care. Proudly South African and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
Getting you through your day. Radio Al-Ansar.
The waves slide upon the sand. Every ripple obeys the last command. Ocean shimmering shades of blue, mysteries if only we knew. The sun awakes from a slumber and casts its light an array of glow. Yeah, Nur is the one who knows. Explore our lives so clearly designed. Allah says and it will be. Kun fayakun, be and it will be. Kun fayakun, Wallahu khayrul raziqeen.
44 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're back on air. We've got a couple more messages, Faizal.
Message comes from Sister Aisha Adam, I think.
Yeah, but before we go to Sister Aisha Adam, let me just tell you quickly, we've got somebody listening in India.
Wow.
And they've sent love from India. So, Salam Alaikum. Yep, on our Facebook page. Salam Alaikum there to you in India.
Okay.
Go for
Salam, Faizal and Buddy. Welcome. Salam. The mention of my cousin Zain Jadbal takes me back to when we came from PMB to spend weekends there. Your car was still intact in Cross Street. I was also attended to by Dr. Fakhruddin downstairs when I took ill on a visit. Buddy, we enjoyed skipping rope on that balcony on Fakhruddin Building corner, Cross and Prince Edward Street. Oh yes, we never missed the rickshaw rides. Those were the day, my friends. And from Aisha, it comes with duas. Okay, I don't think it's Aisha Adam, but it is Aisha.
Well, Sister Aisha, let me tell you, on that balcony on Fakhruddin Building, I had good times there with Brother Faizal Zain as well. So indeed, I know exactly what you are saying. Excellent. Yep, very nice message. Thank you very much. That's great. We're talking about removals now. Now, we got to be very careful here because moving from the Casbah was by choice. Moving from places like District 6 and other places in Joburg, Marabastad, you were forced out. You had to. But you're quite right.
Block AK, you were forced out.
Yes, you were forced out, and if you look at Block AK, that's a typical example of how people still keep tabs on each other, like the barracks, the magazine barracks. They still got a group. They meet on regular occasions, and moving out of the Casbah by choice was still traumatic enough, Faizal.
Yes,
I remember the day we left. I went round to everybody in the building, and when I moved into Good Hope Centre, I was 2 years old.
Yep.
I went round to everybody in the building to say goodbye to as many people as possible, even to the officers, Faizal.
Yes,
because I knew the people in the offices.
Yes.
I mean, that's how it was. And it was really sad to say goodbye. I remember Uncle George, the caretaker of Good Hope Centre, when I went to say goodbye to him, and he said to me, Good Hope Centre will never be the same without you. And I thought, oh man, I gave him so much of problems.
But he didn't tell you the second part of it.
No.
He said, he told you Good Hope Centre won't be the same without you. He kept quiet. Then he said, it'll be better. It'll be better.
Yeah. As I said, I gave him so much of problem. I broke so many of those globes on the top, played football and stuff like that. And yet he was still so gracious, and he was still
He always walked with a smile.
Oh, he was still so genuine indeed. And today we haven't got a lot of our friends and family. I was just thinking today, Faizal, something crossed my mind, and I thought, we can talk about the buildings of the Casbah because yes, they were important, but more important than the buildings were the people
in the building.
The Casbah. They were the blood, the lifeblood. And I thought to myself, if the buildings had emotions, what would they be feeling today, knowing that some of those our grandparents or our fathers and mothers that grew up, lived in the Casbah, had children there, were buried from there.
Yes.
How do they feel? How would they feel if they had an emotion? Because there was a life there, Faizal.
There was a sense of attachment.
Absolutely.
I mean, you never waited for the landlord to come and clean the corridors. You cleaned it yourself.
Of course, man.
And you remember
the landlord lived in the same building probably as you. He wasn't some Lani somewhere else. He was living. And then one of the reasons why we also became family when we were friends first was that, yes, we attended each other's weddings and funerals. But another thing also, Faizal, we were raised by parents across generations as well. I remember Andy's grandmom used to be sitting in that room, and whenever I would go there, I had to stop and talk to her.
You have to. You got to.
Part of that discussion that she would give me was advice.
Yes.
And we would listen to the advice. She would say, just be careful when you boys go out in the night, and stuff like that. Caring advice. So they helped raise children across generations. What about, Faizal? Financial. We don't know how sometimes a neighbor would have helped you when you needed some money.
Yes.
Would that ever happen today? Well, I think people will help, but would you ask?
It would be very difficult to ask.
Very difficult to ask.
But at that time, there was understanding amongst everybody.
If you run out of sugar, Faizal,
next door,
would you ask the neighbor now?
No. No. Now you'll probably be phoning, getting on somebody online to deliver. But that time you went next door with your cup.
But maybe that was the start of Checkers 6060.
You know that advertisement.
We had to go and get I remember Mom giving me a cup and say, go to our auntie upstairs. They were on 603, we were on 508.
You had your little scooter.
Yep, and I would go there with my thing, get a sugar, full up, and there was no hesitation, because they knew they would probably ask us once in a while as well.
And definitely.
So financial as well. I think maybe we never heard about it.
Yep.
But men those days were proud as well.
Yes, and our fathers did it privately.
Absolutely, they would do it privately, keep quiet about it, don't worry about it. And those were gentlemen, man. They were men amongst men. And then we continued to keep in touch with some people, and then some people we just lost touch with. When you look at Block AK, people went away. I remember my aunt and them had a house in Kent Road, and I was contacting one of the government officers and telling them, when is that thing going to be sorted out? And they kept telling me soon, until I actually said to them, listen, man, these people are passing away. You're soon, because you may be 30 years old. They are in their 80s and 90s.
Yes.
And you saying soon. And you know what? My auntie passed away without being resolved. So
and many of them are still not resolved.
Absolutely. So there. But now there's a new thing that's come along, Faizal, as we move towards the endish of the show. Reunions.
Oh yes, that's
just that.
It's just funny. Just last night we were talking about it again, the family reunions, and there's lots of them happening in grand style too.
And family reunions doesn't necessarily mean family.
No.
Sometimes it could be meaning like the street reunion.
Oh yes.
I know the Clearwood people have a thing, but
metric reunion,
metric reunion, or a class of whatever.
77.
Girls' Eye had a fantastic reunion. I think it was last year or the year before. We the Sastry College boys, we have a reunion once a month. We meet and all the guys are down there. Sony, oh man, all the guys, Shorty, everybody's around. And one of the things that we talk about, Faizal, is like, where's so and so? Because you always get that odd one that dropped out. We didn't hear from them ever again.
Yes.
And if you're one of those guys that haven't contacted your friends, come on, man. I'm sure they talk about you.
Yes, definitely.
Come on, just contact them as well.
Yep. Buddy, the mention of Aisha Adam, she could either be Babe's wife or his sister.
Right.
Both have the same name. That's Babe's Adam, who is Zain's cousin. Their mothers were twin sisters from Aisha. Yes, Aisha, definitely. In fact, that's where that came from. But see, the next message comes from Sarah Adam. The next message.
Yes.
So I think that's where the confusion came. But you're right. Thank you for the clarification, Sister Aisha, and thank you so much for your message.
Yep. And thank you for also messaging all the time.
Yep.
Certainly. Now with the reunions, we can meet people at the reunion and then just pick up from where we were.
Yes.
And continue talking, and that shows you.
You know what's beautiful is that when you meet, even if you're meeting after 40 or 50 years, as you take off from where you are.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at if you take like our metric class of 77, when we meet, when we chat, it's the same language we used to do when we were at school. Use when we were at school.
Yep.
It's the same topics. And what we think, you got fathers, grandfathers here, and you guys still acting like in our terms as lighties.
And then you get somebody who will call you that old nickname which no one in your family heard, or your children didn't know you had that name, and you got some explaining to do when you go home.
And then they will call you by the name, and it brings back memories. And then you got to explain to them why you were given that name, and it's sometimes very embarrassing.
Absolutely. So with the Sastry boys, we got a group and we meet, as I said, once a month. And one of the things that we decided at the very beginning when we started to get together was, and all the guys were there, and I remember I pulled everybody together and I said, guys, it's so good to see you guys. It's so good to still be in touch. I said, but we just have one thing that we want to mention here as we go on. We are so proud of you guys that did well.
Yep.
And we're so proud of you if you have children that did it great. But this is not what this group is about. What this group is about is that our pride in you is immense. But if you are a doctor or lawyer or whatever it is, we would hope that you would be there at a time of need.
Mm-hmm.
For some of the brothers that actually
need you.
Genuine need, because that's what it's about.
Yes.
And that's what that giving back is about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And I said to them, and if you don't feel that this is the group for you, then obviously we won't see you again. And you know what, Faizal? 100% turnout.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that's a great group. In fact, we were invited to that group as well. It was too big for me to come to.
Yeah. And you know what's the nice thing about that group, Faizal? And like all town groups, is that you're not going to get only Muslims.
No. It's
you're not going to get only Gujarati. You're not
it's across the board.
Exactly.
Yes, it's across the board.
And Faizal, let's be straight about it. We accepted each other for who we were.
Absolutely, yes.
We never looked at them as them being that or this or that. I know personally, because I came from that. And I remember back then, funerals, weddings, we went to all of them, observed with all respect where we needed to step back, or if it was our whatever step, the front line, you knew your friends were there. I remember when my mum's funeral, it was at the cathedral, and at the back, all my friends were there, regardless of what religion they were, and that's when you know you have family.
Yes,
that's when you know you have family. And then when we have these reunions, Faizal, we introduce our children, and we're so proud to do that.
Oh, you take your children with as well?
Well, it'll be nice, you know. It's not only for the friends, it's, take your children, you can maybe get your grandchildren, and then, they meet your children, and then the family networks, the extended, who knows, your children could become friendly with
their children.
In
fact, my son keeps on telling me, Dad, every friend of mine, you know the parent.
There you go.
Somehow or the other.
Absolutely,
So I think the connections of, it's amazing, because you've been to school, you've been to varsity, you've been in the Casbah, you've been. So
And quite frankly speaking, Faizal, because we separated and we lived together for so long, there was a bit of trauma that maybe we acknowledged or we didn't acknowledge. But these reunions actually renew those emotional bonds.
Definitely.
When you hold that brother and you haven't held him since 1974. Well, you didn't hold him back then.
Yes, of course.
But sometimes you put your arm around them. Holding them wasn't the thing to do, am I right? But today, when you see them, you want to hold them.
Give them a hug.
Hug them. And, definitely I feel that. And
that time, closeness was sharing a bunny.
And then today when I hug like Andy, for instance, I can feel that warmth. And then I've got a special person who I must mention here, Shah Khan. And his wife Nadira Khan. Shah and I are engaged still in a lot of things, football-wise and this, but we have a bond that will never be broken. Never. And it goes further than a family bond. I don't know how much more to put it that way. But it's so important because neighborhoods may have changed, neighbors may have changed, people may have moved away, but friendships will continue.
Definitely.
And even though we may not see those people on the regular, Faizal, I'm sure you think about some of them as well.
Definitely. Unfortunately, buddy, when you're having fun, all good things.
Absolutely. Well, I hope we brought a tear to your eye. I hope we brought a smile to your face or whatever. But I think it's very important to know that all the friends that we had back then, all the family, we love you guys, and we cherish you guys. Today I made dua for my Alberton Callie's friends. I must tell you this. A special dua for them. And I thought I'll mention that because these are people that were important to us. But thank you very much, Faizal. What a lovely show again. And
I think you're on at 3 o'clock tomorrow?
3 o'clock inshallah tomorrow, World Cup, and bring you all up to date with that kickoff.
Yep, and I'm with you at 8 o'clock in the morning on Rise and Shine. So, I think Brother Junaid tried messaging us, but unfortunately time's up. Anyway, walaikum salam to Brother Junaid. He says, salams, why do young... Okay, I think I got to read something about being young. Why do the young forget the old? Okay, we're going to answer that probably next week, inshallah. But till then, from myself, Faizal MD Suleman.
And Buddy Govender. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And my toes and my nose and my lips and my smile and my ears and my fears and my mind and my time and my friends.